Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And today, my good friend Kimberly Crowe is back with us. And we're going to be talking about releasing from the mind constructs of humanity and so much more. We're going to be doing processes like we always do. Kimberly will be doing some mini healing sessions, a group healing activation. We're going to be talking about having a clearer connection with your divine blueprint at this time. And when you align your blueprint, your sovereign being flows and a whole new way of being evolves. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about how the truth of your sovereign one, finding the truth of your sovereign one in achieving more clarity by connecting and awakening your divine blueprint, and what all that means and how to do it and experience that, right? So Kimberly's back with us. She's been here many, many times. So you all know her, I'm sure. She's an everyday mystic and is known as the healer's healer. She's a sacred witness to the inner awakened mastery, I am Retonements. And she's an internationally known visionary teacher, artist, and transformational healer with 30 years experience. And she can help you achieve your heart's desires by tuning into, clearing, and harmonizing your unique energy system. So I'm so excited that Kimberly's back with us. And so Kimberly, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. You look great.
Thank you. You do too. It's like we're making it through all of this.
Yes, we are.
Mercury went in retrograde today. So it's like, and I thought, oh, here, I'm decided I'm going to try to use this new computer right at the last minute. Don't make those decisions.
Yeah. Don't do that when you're in Mercury retrograde, you know?
No, and that poor Mercury, you get such a bad rap when the truth is, when any of the planets are retrograde, it's a time to reflect within. Mm-hmm. And I usually actually love Mercury in retrograde because during that time period, I always get tons of downloads. It's like all that outer static kind of goes away, and then I can really, like I go within, and I usually get big pieces of things during that time period.
Awesome. So it's not all bad when planets go into retrograde, sometimes they get a bad rap for sure, but it is all about going within, giving yourself time to go within, giving yourself time to reflect. And part of that, as we talked about yesterday, was also about the self-care, the self-nurturing, and doing what's right for you, really connecting to what is right for you in this moment.
Yeah, because the energies right now with the Mercury retrograde, we've got an eclipse coming up Friday on that solstice. Mm-hmm. So it's really, and whatever, I can't remember what Venus is doing right now, but she's a big part of it.
Yeah, there's like 5 planets in retrograde.
Yeah, right. She's in retrograde too. So that's all about going in and connecting to your inner self and disconnecting. For what we're going to talk about is these mind constructs, because when we're plugged in and all of that's running through our brain, our system, then, how can we go within? It's like when you've got all of this other stuff that's blah, 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 all of the time.
Yeah.
So when you disconnect from all of that, then you can really hear your inner self, your inner being. And what a great time to do that, because where we're at right now, the same energies that happened in the 60s, it's like we're finishing it up. Like all of the things that started then with protest rights and all of that, it's like it's another round of it. And all of that, astrologers knew we were going to have this summer. They were seeing that in the consciousness. And then we just got all kinds of other layers that were on top of it. So it's really interesting how it's playing out. I don't believe astrology rules us. The planets don't rule us. I believe there are opportunity to take those vibrations and to utilize those for yourself.
Absolutely. I love that you say that, because a lot of times people will look at what's happening with the planets and then not rearrange, but make that the cause of what's happening in their life, or make that the reason why they can't do something or be something, and that's not it at all. It's actually about, they're here to support you, but in different areas, in different ways, right? So I just want to say really quickly first, before we get started, Kimberly, I just want to add really quickly, if you have questions for Kimberly, you can raise your hand, or you can type in the chat, and because we'll be taking some caller questions as well. right? So Nicole has a question. And so I know we're going to get a few astrologically related questions because we always talk about this, right? But Kimberly's not an expert, but she knows way more than I do. I don't know anything about astrology kind of stuff. But let me just show you what she's asking, okay? And we'll go from there. It might be.
Yeah, because I'm not going to do personal astrology readings today.
Yeah.
My astrology is more, I tap into it as, I call it cosmic astrology. It's like I'm able to tap into the rays and everything. I mean, I know personal astrology, but I'm not doing readings.
Yeah, I don't, and that I always get lost. Yeah. But she's saying, I am a Cancer sun with Mercury in Cancer. Oh my goodness, hold on 1 second. I can't read it. Why can't I read it? Or Gemini in Vedic. I feel I'm especially calibrated to activate at this point with these alignments. How best to maximize this potency in a way that most benefits the expansion of myself and the whole?
Okay, well, I can use that as a general thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're in Cancer right now, and the eclipse is in Cancer, and her and Mercury is in Cancer right now too. It just happens to be, and she happens to be born on that, so she's obviously in some kind of return right now, which is the energies are that much more potent for you. So when Mercury is communication. No, maybe it's not in Cancer right now, but it's communication. It's in Gemini, I think. And so it rules that. So it rules her mind. So her mind would be more of a nurturing mind. So anytime that influence is there. So right now, while we're in this Cancer energy, it's the Divine Mother. It's the truth of that Divine Mother, what that energy is, and how to embody that. So for everybody, call on that energy of that and to utilize it, because when we're in a time period of an eclipse, we'll go into the shadow, and then it's time for light to reflect into the shadow, so we can bring that energy up and dissolve whatever shadows that we're still carrying. So all of this energy in these 3 eclipses, we had one, I think it was on the 5th, this one, and then we have another one like in a week and 2 weeks. So it's all about that balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy. And Aries, Mars is in Aries, which is masculine energy. It's action. It can show up as war, but you can utilize that energy for divine action. So when you have that balance of the divine feminine, which is inspiration, the divine masculine is action, and when those come together in balance with you, then that's when you have that insight to, you get your ahas, you have the insight for the next, the next moment, the next movement, and how to use that. And if we utilize that energy with with anger and the warring and all that, it's going to knock the light out. It's going to knock out the divine feminine energy that's trying to anchor in right now. And so it's being conscious of that. And so she has that, she came in with this mothering energy. And the mothering energy doesn't mean that, mama's not a warrior, because it's that mama bear energy too. And that I'm going to take care of my children, my family, and all, and that energy, like that energy's there present. So that's what, if I was her, then calling on that, and the more she calls on those vibrations that she's here to embody. Because when we sit down and choose to come into this planet, when the calling goes out and we hear the calling to be the vibration, that's what we're doing. We're embodying this DNA skin suit to be a frequency vibration to bring that into the tapestry of humanity. So that we set down and design that astrology chart, and when we're going to come in, and at the moment for the gifts that it'll give us and how we can utilize those for all of humanity. We're just embodying it. So you don't have to know consciously all your stuff, because it's already downloaded in you. It's there. It's like it's your template. It's already in your vibrations. So usually people have just a tendency to do that, to nurture others and that type of stuff. And so I would say right now, with all those retrogrades in it, the self-nurturing too. It's like, on the plane, what do? Tell you to take the oxygen first so that you can, then, then you can save your children.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be that, because the downside of that energy could be the martyr. And that's
the downside of the energy could be what, sorry?
Martyr, like martyr energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sacrificing for everybody else all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do that.
And everybody has this in their chart. So it's like that's how that can show up. It depends on what house it's in, how it's going to show up for you.
Yeah.
So awesome. Yeah. It's watery energy, emotions.
Good. So stay in motion.
Emotional. She may be really emotional during this time period. It may come up.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Cancer energy, it's such an empathic energy. It's like it feels so much of all of the rest of the world's stuff.
Yeah. Good. And yes, mama can be a warrior too. I love that. Yes, stay in the flow. And hold on. At the same time, when you know that, you're going to be emotions that might be heightened, then you might want to like tell yourself, breathe, connect into the earth, be in your body. If you know that, like this week, for example, my daughter, she knows because she read something astrologically and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Mom, until the 21st, I'm going to be in this mood and I'm going to snap and I'm going to, okay, cool. So I know, she knows. So, I will tell her consciously from time to time, take a deep breath, and I have to tell myself too, so I don't react. But, so she knows. And so I keep telling her every day, a couple of times a day, breathe, just so that she remembers, so that she's not like, she's not at the effect of what she heard, but she can also be consciously aware of it and at the same time take some conscious action to be in the moment, and not react,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because the reactive energy is going to it will what's the right word to use? It's going to interfere and bounce out any of the downloads that could be coming in. That reaction's gonna stop it. It's like the reaction energy. If you step back and then allow, then you'll be able to absorb more.
Yeah,
it's receive more. Like an energy that's going to push it out if you use it in that way. So, and people aren't, if you not taking it personal is going to be a big thing right now during this time period, because we've got that Mars in Aries all the way till November. And it's like, yeah. And so, you could easily put on Facebook, I love tomatoes, and somebody comes back and says to you, what about squashing cucumbers? You didn't mention them at all. Are you like prejudiced to squashing cucumbers? Problem with them. So don't be surprised that because it's their own triggers, their own energy in it. Don't take it on, because that can happen.
Yeah.
Those reactions come up, and it has nothing to do with, squash tomatoes and cucumbers.
Absolutely.
But that kind of energy may be really present. And also pay attention, honor yourself. Don't take on that martyr role or blame yourself for something that you're really not feeling in your heart. Because with all of this stuff that's happening right now on the world, I have noticed that. Like I had a little incident the other night over dogs, and I was in my yard planting plants. This is really cool. And the petunia I was holding started pulsating back in my hands. I was holding it.
The petunias?
Petunias. Mm-hmm. And then it came in rhythm with my heart. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I could feel it. And then I could hear its tone. And then I had a couple of plants that I was holding. And so I started doing that to all of them until I could feel them pulsating before I put them in the ground. And my neighbor's 2 pit bulls got loose, and which happens all the time. And they come running into my yard, and my cat was behind me, and the little one started to chase my cat. And, I freaked out. And my cat, she just come back as Mama Cat. She was going to defend me, her property, and everything else. She didn't have any kind of thing of what kind of dog they were. They were just a dog to her. And then I felt bad. I felt like, I felt this moment of, oh my God, I was just breed prejudice. And I wasn't. I would have felt the same way, whether it had been a poodle or a chihuahua or, a Shih Tzu. It wouldn't have mattered. But I blamed myself for that. So just watch that. If you're really, if you're not feeling any of those things, don't allow society to blame shame you, because that blame shame energy is not going to get any of us anywhere either. So you may see a lot of that right now, because people are saying, well, if you're silenced and you're not standing up, then you can't be neutral now. I don't believe that. I think neutrality takes us into a higher vibration, and when we're neutral, then we can be the anchor of the divine, the light, the love. And it's different if you're witnessing something and then you don't stand up, that's different. But I took that on, and then I realized, oh my God, I tried to take blame and shame on, and that wasn't where my mind was. I was just in this fear for my cat. And the next day, those two that I was holding, those two flowers, I just stuck them down into the pot. They were dead. All of the rest of them were up and shining, and their little heads were like, oh, I'm here. And those two were dead. So it's just like the Moto project, with the water. It's like that intention and that consciousness that I had in that moment went into those two flowers, and they did not make it through the night. It was really interesting, because the others were like, and I took them out and worked on them some more, trying to bring the love back into them. So it was really, it's like they showed up for me in the moment to show me what our intentions do.
That's cool.
And that I actually, witnessed it within the flowers the next day. So that vibration and that consciousness of every move that you make, are you being conscious of it, and where you're at, and what is the energy that you're vibrating at, and what's the energy that you're sending out into the collective consciousness?
Yeah, absolutely. It is so important to be aware of, what you're putting out, what you're taking in, where you are in each moment, as much as you possibly can. Yeah, yes. I love that. Thank you. Great example. So there are some questions in the chat still. 1 second, hold on. Yvette, she was asking, I have had a lot of effort to move forward and feel like I can't get forward. Too many obstacles. No, this is not just about trying harder or trying everything. It was not like that before. What seems to be the cause? Thanks for any insight.
Okay, I could jump into her energy and see what's going on. Are we ready to start doing that? Are you ready for me to start doing it? Yvette, was that her name?
Yeah,
Yvette. I can open up her records and see what's happening. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to open up everybody's records right now that may be asking a question, and then just to the whole group, and to know what to bring in. And anytime I'm doing this with anybody, it may be an answer for something for you too. It goes to the whole. It's not just all about the one person. So there may be energy there that reflects that within you. Okay, so let's see. So I step into the light where all things are possible, and ask to be a sacred witness, and see what this energy is. She's giving her power away to other people, is what I'm hearing. And as soon as I went to her energy, it was like all entangled. It looked like twine, almost like a mummy, but there was no bandages. And it was like this twine wrapped around her. And I was really feeling it in her like throat, ears, neck, head. It's just like, wow, it looks like a ball of twine. That's where it's at the most, but it's all the way through her whole body. So there's something within her life that she's totally given her power away, and in the way that she's not stepping into her own power. That may be the way. So it's like, if she was here live, it's hard to do.
She is.
She is.
But I'm not sure if she can unmute. I'll try and unmute you, Yvette. Okay, go ahead. Just talk.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
how is that benefiting you to hold your power back?
I feel like it might be safer if I don't, or just feel like that there's an imposition of power from everyone else. It's like pushing me aside and say, shut up, don't, or we'll do this, or you won't get the chance to be, or to express yourself, or to be who you came to be. And it's just like shut down, push away, don't say, don't be.
So you're
There's this
protecting
fear.
yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And that energy right now, any place that we're holding that, what we came here to be and where we're not, we're really going to feel that inner conflict right now during these planetary energies right now, more so than normal. You know, that it's because we're not in our own alignment. And so wherever we're not in our own alignment, it's really going to show up for us, because the soul, it's like, now I'm seeing that like a vine that's, you know, wrapping around and choking your life out, because like the soul is screaming to be who it came to be and to evolve in that way. And you know, it's not, it's being squished out. It's like its life force energy is being squished out. So I don't know how, if you can change your life situation and where you're living and who you're around and even who you're working with. But it's like there's a whole new path for you, and you're choosing to stay little and to stay what do you call that? What's the right word? I'm losing words.
Stay small, stay invisible.
Yeah, like not to rock the boat. You know, she's choosing to stay in that, not to have conflict.
But is there anything, Yvette, that you can do for yourself today that, you know, that you would like to do? It doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be life-changing, but start with something small that you can do for yourself that makes you feel good, that empowers you.
I just think it's my environment. And
yeah, but if you can't change the environment, right? If you can't change the environment, what is one thing that you can do for yourself? Because what I want you to get, and everybody else to get too, is that we can start to make changes for ourselves, small changes. That
one thing at a time. Yeah, one little step. What happened when you were like somewhere between 2 to 3? Anything that you remember, any kind of trauma?
No, it's so far back.
Okay, so this is what I would do, because that's what step forth when I asked how long has this been here. And then I saw this energy of being like almost frightened, like if I don't show myself and I stand behind and nobody can see me, then I won't be heard, I won't be seen, I'll be safe. So there's an energy there with that, and it's like the first realization of that between 2-3 years old, and so that imprint is still there with you. So when I do the downloads for everybody, we'll make sure that we download what it's like to be safe on Earth, because it's like you don't know what that is in your cells. Your family didn't know what it was to give it to you. So it's like, and a lot of other people have got the same thing. So we'll download that. But I would energetically work with that, connect to that 2-3-year-old, start asking to connect her. I don't know if you journal, if you draw, how you do it, but when you bring her back in, it's like that part that fragmented out, it feels like it went through the back of your neck. And I would do a soul retrieval on you right now, but you're not ready. It's like you would just boot it back out. You're not in a place that you feel safe enough to allow her to come in to be the light that she is. Okay. If you didn't, the free gift that I gave, which is how to embody your own self-love, if you didn't sign up for that, get that, because listen to it and it will help with that, because it's when we hide our own self-love so that nobody can steal it from us, and that'll help you. Okay, listen to it, and that MP3 will help you. Okay,
can you help me, because what would you do if I were to sign up with you? If I were to take your package.
Oh, the package.
What would you do?
Then we'll do a session where we'll bring that back and get in more detail with it and do the work.
because I've done soul retrieval already, but I just feel like there's sabotage right now. So that's that definitely is like, don't move. So I know that there is that, but so I'm just saying, if I were to, I've done soul retrieval already many times, and I don't seem to have corrected that part of it, which is now.
Yeah, because I'm
So
still seeing it today. So I can still see that fragmented part of her afraid to come back. There's the energy there that you'll be like shunned by the family, you know, that you won't be part of the tribe clan, that, you know, if I do this, because it feels like this energy was big and loud, you know, it was like big, loud energy. And whoever's the biggest and the loudest is who's in control. And you don't want to be that person.
Nope.
You don't want to, you know, you saw that the bully is who wins. And so everybody that has that kind of energy, then that makes us, you know, we shrink up and want to be not seen. And there's a part of us that we connect that to power, and then we don't want to stand in our own power because we don't want to be that ass. You know, we don't want to, if that's what power is, then I don't want it. So it's all of that needs to be like downloaded into your system. So we'll do that. I'll do that in with the thing for everybody to bring that into balance, and that it's safe to embody your hearing your divine feminine energy. It's safe.
And I just want to add, Kimberly, too, like, Yvette, just because you've done soul retrieval, you haven't done it with Kimberly.
Okay.
It's not, you know, like when you do work with other people, it's not the same as if you do work with me, or if you do work with Kimberly or somebody else. So something may not have worked for you in the past, but maybe at that point you weren't ready, and maybe now you are. And maybe working with Kimberly is a different energy and different vibration and frequency than what you have experienced before. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm willing.
I can feel that really vibrating in your third eye too. So there's something that's screaming out, something that's ready to, you know, that wants to, it's like your soul just can't take it anymore. You know, it wants to be the power in the life that it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hopefully that helps. But if, for those of you who are on the call, if you haven't gone to the gifts page and gotten the gift from Kimberly and download it and listen to it, please do. And Yvette, please stay on the call, and, you know, when Kimberly does the group process, just be fully into it. Okay, that's what
I will. Thank you so much. Thank you,
right.
Kimberly.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I felt like it was going to be too complicated to try to dive into all of that for you right now, and I didn't want to leave you half done, you know, because it's like you're in too big of a place to not complete it. Does that make sense? It's like too sacred of a moment for you to just half-ass do it. It's like I didn't want to do that. I didn't feel like that was the best thing for you in this moment.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Yvette.
I'm here. I'll wait for the
good. Awesome. Good. Please do. I will put you on mute, but yes, please stay on the line. Okay.
I will. Sure.
Good. Awesome. All right. So, and that, you know, what Yvette shared and what we just said, that is so critical and important. Part of it is like, yes, we've all done a lot of work with a lot of different healers, but this time and place is different than that time and place. This healer, whether it's Kimberly, whether it's myself, is different. And what we're picking up or perceiving now is different than what you had perceived before. So I get it. You know, it's like I've done a lot of work, and some things like, oh, it didn't work, blah, blah, blah. I've done this so many times, it doesn't work. But that's not true. Actually, when I go back and think about it, it's like it's...
Right. It works to get you to the next moment in time.
Yeah.
So whatever that was, until we're ready and we feel safe enough to let it go. Because honestly, really, the healing is your own healing. You're the one that's in charge of your healing. And when healing, if we want to call it that, when you get your aha, when that happens, it's because you trusted yourself enough to do it. That's really what happens. There's some part inside of us that, you know, like it may feel good for a little while, but then it comes back up again. And there's that little bitty tiny seed that just didn't trust self enough yet. You know, it's like, if I trust myself that much, then my whole world will change. And there's that little bitty fear, and it's all about self.
It is all about self. And sometimes you get the aha right away, and sometimes you get it later. Days, weeks, months later. It's like, oh my God, I mean, I just got a big aha this past week. So it's like, oh, and it's like, I should have gotten it before, but I just got it now.
And it can be that I'm talking to somebody else and it hits you and it's like, oh my God, that was it. And you feel it goes through your whole body and you don't even know for sure, like what, it may not be the same scenario, but something in the vibration was the vibration in that moment that you needed, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a question from April. April, I'm not really sure what the question is, but she says, I'm really curious about aligning my divine blueprint through an activation or meditation practice with intention. We're going to do part of that today, right? Aligning.
Right. And so be conscious of that, just like we were talking about intention and conscious, and start asking for that. It's like when we'll disconnect from all these mind matrices. I'll talk about that a little. And when you disconnect from that, then ask to come into alignment. All you have to do is ask. And it's like so much of the stuff we don't ask. And it's like, you just breathe in and say, ready to come into my alignment with my blueprint. And the downloads can happen. Do it before you go to bed. Ask for those things. You can be your own sacred witness and hold your own container in that way. We just have to ask to do it. And I think sometimes we're playing too little and we don't know that we have that divine right and the power within us to just ask for it. It's like you're lifting the illusions, the soul is wanting to move on.
But I think sometimes when you're asking for that, like April is asking for that, but she's also probably has some sort of expectation of how that would look then. How would her life change then? How would, she be different then, right?
Yeah, and sometimes that what we talked about before, when we don't surrender, it is because of that fear that what we know will change, and we're afraid of, we're afraid of our own knowing, our own being, our own power, and then that we won't need these external things, and when that changes, then everybody, the whole relationships with the dynamics of everything can change.
Yeah.
It's like we employ these people to be this for us, until we get it. And it's like we're the ones that draw the vibration to us. It's being in that drama dance. It's like that triangle of the persecutor, the rescuer, and the victim. And until the victim will keep pulling to them the persecutor and the rescuer until they stand in their own power. And we'll do it over and over and over. And when we get the aha, then we don't have to embody that archetypal pattern anymore. That's generational, it's, and the other people, we don't have to pull the players to us to keep acting that out for us either. It's like it'll change. It's like they don't have to do that anymore. All of a sudden some trigger changes and then you're like, well, that person doesn't even trigger me anymore. And it's because you got your aha.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me this week.
Right. It doesn't mean they're going to disappear out of your life. Sometimes they do. And the thing is, you don't have any attachment to that point. So it's all okay. It's like and the part that can't see past that is the one that's in a fear that it won't be okay and wants to hold on to the only thing that it knows.
Yeah, totally understandable, totally normal. Okay, so yeah,
right.
Hopefully that helps, April. Did you want to go ahead, Kimberly? Were you going to say something else?
No, go on.
So I was just going to go to some of the other questions in the chat. So Devrani is saying, my life lesson is to balance my ego and understand the true nature of the ego so that I can release the stubbornness that is holding me back. How can I do this? I'm laughing. It's like,
isn't that everybody's life lesson? Isn't that what humanity's consciousness is about? Because that's what ascension is. Ascension is when we no longer, consciousness comes through the heart, because that template and the design that humanity had, consciousness did come through the mind. It came through the mind, then, it went through all of our chakra system and all of the parts that the energy that we brought in from our DNA, the energy we brought in that our soul brought in. So it's actually emotional traumas. And so that consciousness goes through it, it hits that, and then we react, and that energy's all out there. And the ascension is consciousness will come through the heart. And the more we come into our heart, then the energy goes through the heart, through the mind, and then it comes out like a, it's coming out like a fountain. It's the Taurus energy. It's like it comes out like that. And that is what ascension is. And that's what enlightenment is when you can see it through your heart without the attachments to it. So, that's the same journey we're all on. Just some of us have different, because of accumulated knowledge and experiences that we've had in other parallel existences, it may play out a little bit different. But you've got some part of you that's in another timeline that's, playing a whole different game. It's like we've got all of those things happening at the same time.
So, but the energy of stubbornness, right? So when you think of the energy of stubbornness, or when you let that come in, stubbornness is what? Lack of trust. Lack of trust is what I'm getting right off the top is, you're not trusting, and lack of acceptance, right? So not accepting what is, right? So if you keep resisting what is, you're not going to be able to change it. I mean, I say this all the time. If there's some trigger, if you're reacting to something that is, you can't change it. And it's not about changing even, it's about loving and accepting. The ego has a place, right? And you're right, it's about balance, right? That balance between the head and the heart.
What is the power of stubbornness? That's what I would, if I was working on myself with that, it's like, how does it benefit you to hold on to it? What is the power that it gives you? And it's like, what is the power that's within it? And when you go to that and feel that and what that really is, then it's like, is that the truth? And then you can ask for the absolute truth to come in and then ask to, what does it feel like to live without that? And then what's the opening that happens within you with that? Because if that's all we know, we hold on to it, then we can't experience what it's like to have the more than that. So for some reason, it feels like it's, it's another one of those that we believe that some way it keeps you surviving.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is the ego's job, is to help you to survive. Right? Yeah, awesome. So hopefully, maybe when we're doing the process, Kimberly will include some of that as well.
No, I'm trying to look at that whole wave of stubbornness and how it was put into humanity's consciousness, because humanity creates all of that itself.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like it's a false power. If I was gonna, it's like one of those kinds of things.
Awesome.
The other side of that almost feels like because I was like, if stubbornness was gone, then what would you have? And it's like a fear of not having boundaries. So there could be, that kind of energy of witnessing that with other people, or other people infringing on your boundaries. So that children, like a 3-year-old, when they're going from, at 2, they start realizing that they're separate from their mother. And so they can get stubborn. That when they start saying no to everything, because they realize they are individual, and that there's this part of them, and that's the only power that they have. So it feels like that kind of energy of someone always trying to invade your boundaries. So then stubbornness became your superpower.
How does that resonate with you, Devrani? I love her name, Devrani. Just love it. Let us know how that resonates with you, or you can unmute yourself if you want. I don't know if you can, because you might not be in a place where you can, but if you can, that'd be awesome.
So when she knows boundaries, and this is for everybody, it's like if we look at that and we understand, when we have that and we have that own protective shell around us, then we don't have to, because look at that energy of stubbornness, how much of your own power it uses. It takes a lot of energetic energy in your own system to hold that up all of the time, to hold that wall up all of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's exhausting. It would exhaust your adrenals eventually.
Hi.
Also,
hi, Devrani. There she is. Hi.
Hi. yes, it's exactly what you said. It does take a lot of my energy.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
and I also have a problem with my adrenals as well because it's all connected. So
Yeah. I could feel that in it, like that wall, and how much it was taking all the time to keep it up all of the
yes,
time.
yes, yeah.
Okay, so I think that feeling safe and knowing what it's like to be safe in your body. Okay, maybe we'll just go on and do that right now for everybody on the call and everybody on the replays. We're going to download what it's like to be safe on Earth and into those adrenals. Because the adrenals have spun out for so long, they don't know how to stop, to just rest and be. Like it's okay to come into balance. What is your what I was getting from that, what are you missing out on life? If you start paying attention to that, what is your stubbornness? It feels like sometimes you miss out on your own opportunities because that,
Yes.
yeah. And if
Yeah.
you start noticing that, then there's the positive side of stubbornness is resilient, to be resilient. So it's like knowing the difference in between those energetic vibrations. Can you
Yes.
feel that? Feel that energy of resilience. Everybody feel the energy of resilience. And what? Now we're going to bring in that vibration of stubbornness that's been labeled as stubbornness. Feel how heavy it is. Can you all feel the difference in that?
Mm.
Okay. So let's bring this resilience into the heart. There. And allow the heart to connect to that energy and the truth of what that is. And for that to be downloaded into every cell of your body. My phone's going off somewhere and I don't know where it is. So just feel what that feels like in every cell of your body, the energy of resilience. That feels so much more louder and empowering, and it doesn't feel like it exhausts the adrenals. It feels like it supports the adrenals, actually. Okay. We'll add that in with everything too. I'll do all of that, those vibrations. Teach you all how to connect to that.
Okay, Devrani?
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, that was
Could you
really
feel
good.
the difference between those two, and that it's safe
Yes.
to, yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
That's what I would do. I would connect to that energy of that and what that feels like to have that, and to just keep bringing that into your body.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah,
Awesome. Thank you.
thank you.
All right. Cool. Good. We have lots of questions, of course. I'm going to go to the phone lines because they have their hand raised for a while now. I'm going to unmute you. Phone number ending in 232. Hello?
Oh, hi. I was surprised because
It's okay.
to get hit.
Did you have a question for Kimberly?
Yes, thank you, Laura. Thank you, Kimberly. I was wondering what's keeping me stuck in overwhelm and low energy and anxiety. I keep trying to get out of it, and it just nothing seems to work.
What was your name?
Oh, this is Patty. I forgot to mention that. Sorry.
Patty. Okay, so what's keeping you stuck and overwhelmed? It's like a wet blanket. It feels like for some reason it's safe to you to go to that as your first defense. It's like if I go into overwhelm, then I can take a break. It's like there's something in there like it, and then it's just this exhaustion energy all the time. Everybody on this call,
Yeah.
everybody's adrenals are exhausted. I guess it's just the time period that we're in right now. So did you have some kind of major something that happened in your life that you went into overwhelm, like taking care of other people or something like that? Feels like spending too many things and giving your energy away to too many people.
Yeah, maybe around late 2013. If there's some family issues, problems came up, and it's been downhill ever since.
Yeah. So, okay. What I'm seeing with everybody is like that overwhelmed energy. Unplug from the person. It's, we can get cords and things, but we only get psychic cords if we allow that to come in. And when we allow it to come in, it's because there's like somewhere that helps us know more about something, and we're allowing it. And so in that way, we're plugged into them too. It's like it feels like your energy, and that's what we do on this disconnected from these matrices. That your energy is out in front of you, plugged into everybody else. You're being psychically nosy. It's like you're plugged into everybody else to see what they need from you. And so there's no energy left over. There's no energy left for you because you're out of your body, out in front of yourself, plugged into everybody else. Like I need to know what the next move is. If I know this information, then I'll know what to do. And like nothing, you can't plan your own life because you may get hit by this again. So it's like I'm plugging from all of it because that's like draining your whole energy system. Okay, so would it be safe for you right now to unplug from that energy?
Oh, that would be so wonderful. Yes.
Okay, so let's just breathe in. So everybody out there, it's like any energy that you've sent out, your psychic awareness, just unplug from that from this moment and bring your own energy back to yourself. So feel what that feels like to bring all of your own energy cords back to yourself, to your own body, to your own being. Okay, so a lot of people on here where I'm seeing so much of the exhausted adrenals, it actually happens while you're in womb. And in that last trimester, the baby's adrenals can support the mother. And when the mother is exhausted, the baby starts supporting the mother in order for both of them to survive. So then the baby comes in with exhausted adrenals. And I can feel that in the whole group. It's like so much of that happened, like that energy wasn't there. So it's time now to like pull your energy back to embody this divine mother energy and that it's safe to be on earth, it's safe to be supported by earth. And that when we feel grounded in that, then it feels like the adrenals can start being supported again. So you need to, I hate to use the word need to, connect as much as you can to earth, opening up the bottom of your feet, like to really open up your feet chakras and to connect in to that heart of Gaia and what your path is. Because it feels like like the same kind of theme that's been going on with everybody, that there's so many spinning plates that you really don't know what your own path is anymore. And I feel that with everybody in the, so far everybody that I have answered, the energy's really strong in that way. Okay.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you so much. God bless.
Yeah, every time that you start feeling that overwhelm, breathe in and bring your own energy back to yourself. And from there, you can make a decision because you're making your decisions based on the input of everybody else's energy. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patty. Awesome.
Thank you,
Good.
Laura.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. So, all right. Whew. I can't believe you've already done so much. On this call.
Let's talk about these mind constructs a little bit and
Yep.
see if that helps people kind of calm down some.
Yeah.
I can feel this energy. It's like everybody was just like they need nurturing, and it's like they need answers and need them right now, because it feels like there's this overall energy that they're not being heard, that nobody's listening, and that they're not being heard anywhere. So they can't even hear themselves in some way. So I can feel that real strong desperation energy today. Do you feel it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to talk about these just a little bit so you all can understand, and then we'll do the process. Too. I have no idea what time it is. So when Spirit showed this to me, and what happened was someone asked me about, they were on a call with me from one of these summits. They had bought a package in what we do in the group calls that we do. And they were saying, how do you do readings like this? You tell us just to do this stuff. And I didn't know. I didn't know, because it just happens. And in the moment when I was doing it, I saw what happens. And that I saw these mind constructs, and that I literally unplug from all of them, and I bring the energy back to myself. And when I unplug from it and I bring that back, I'm in my heart. And that from my heart, I don't have any judgment. I don't, and I have access to all accumulated knowledge. And it happened that fast because somebody asked me the question. And it was like, oh, this is how I do this. And then I went on a silent retreat and worked with the energy. And that every day I worked with it, they would bring in another layer, of it for me. So the first part that came in was to literally disconnect from the chaotic mind of humanity. And that when your third eye, like the cord from your own third eye, your own psychic energy, has plugged in to humanity's mind and to the chaos of humanity's mind. And that somewhere, that if we stay plugged into all of that energy, then we're going to know. We'll know what we need to do, how to be safe, what the next move is, what's going to happen in the world, just all of these energies all the time. So it's all of this coming in all of the time. It's like your computer, your phone, everything's on at once. And so when we disconnect from that, all we have to do is ask to disconnect from it. And when you ask to disconnect from that mind construct with all of humanity's mind, all the scenarios that it's spinning, when you ask to disconnect from it, you literally feel that cord disconnecting from that and coming back into your own third eye. And then, like, when that happens, it's almost like you go, oh, you can feel it come back in, and then you're not fooled by all of that. So that was the first one they showed me, how to disconnect from humanity's mind construct. So you just ask to do it, and that's where I always see it at, is in the third eye. And when that energy comes back to your own third eye, then from your inner knowingness, you will know things, because you're not filtering it through all of these other minds. That makes it a whole lot harder to try to filter it through everything else. It's like if you go into your own awareness, then the answers are there. And then Spirit showed me, like when they took me through these processes, it's like it was a whole day of it, until I could watch all of it and really embody it. And then it was like how to disconnect from my own mind construct, the one I had created and made up in this lifetime. From all my dramas, traumas, fears, all the experiences that I had happened in this lifetime, like I've got this mind construct. And so we all have our own personal mind construct. And when a scenario happens, we go through those files. It's like going through a closet or something, looking for something, and we're going through all of that to see what the correct information is. Well, if we just ask to disconnect from that, then spirit can bring us in the appropriate information for that moment, and not through all of this chaos of this mind construct that's setting out there. Like, you don't have to dig through all of that. It's like, oh, it's right there. It's sitting on the shelf. You know, this is the information for this. Okay, and then they showed me that we have a mind construct that is from the family, like the family unit from the family mind construct. And so it's like your experiences that you had in the family thoughts, and what that mind construct is. And when you release from that one, it different people feel it in different areas. I think it's what chakra that is attached the most to whatever the construct is. So you know, like I might feel it in the heart or in the throat, and it may be, you know, in that specific moment of whatever that is. Then there's a mind construct that goes to your DNA. And the DNA is all of the lineage. It's not just this family unit that you were in this time. It's all of the mind construct through all of the DNA strands, activated and non-activated ones, all the way back through your starseed lineage. It's there's all kinds of information in it. And so this is their accumulated knowledge, but when we can unplug from the promise of it, then we can be like reloaded, you know, we can be recalibrated into these energies, and it doesn't have to go through all of that energy. And then the soul itself has a mind construct, because the soul, you know, some people, the soul itself has an ego, because it had an agenda when it decided to embody again of all from its karmic stuff. So what it needed to do in order for that to be resolved. So there is a construct with it. That's what soul contracts and all of that stuff is. We don't have to go through all of that. It's like when we get these ahas, and some of that, you know, resolves itself, and we're in a whole different, as we move through this ascension process, we're not staying on that same karmic wheel. So you just have to just unplug from the soul mind construct too. And when that happens, I see soul comes in at the heart, like right there at the sternum. So there's the energy there. And then the soul can just go, oh, I'm back to 0 point. So when you unplug from all of these, it takes you back to 0 point. In that place of that. And from that place, then you can have new insights, new energy, new ahas can come from you when you're not running it through all of this. So if you could see us walking around, we have all these cords to all of these, you know, containers of these constructs. Some of them are boxes, some of them are, you know, information that goes on and on and on. And when you disconnect from all of that, then it's like you feel yourself come back into your body. And I do that now on any of the group activations that we do. You know, I always run us through disconnecting from that first. And when I'm trying to get my own answer, and because I've done it so much now, it happens really fast. I just ask to disconnect from all the mind constructs. And then I do it when I go to bed of a night, so that if I am going to receive stuff through my dream time, your subconsciousness is always working. I don't want to go through all of that, deciphering all of that. I don't want to wake up the next day and have all these, you know, from these weird ass dreams and trying to figure out what was that about. I don't even know who those people were. Why was I dreaming about them? What were they doing in my head? And then you're exhausted from your own dream time. So if there's something that I'm wanting to come in, I just have to disconnect from it. Sometimes I do that in the morning when I first wake up too, because I'll wake up and then Spirit will tell me they want to take me out into journey, and I'm going to go into other things. And it's like, just disconnect from all the minds. And then I can journey to a whole lot faster and easier and quicker into other timelines, and to get information and to watch information. So when I do that, I go on a place that I call God shelf, and I'm like through creator's eyes, and I can look down on all of creation and all of the different dramas and things that are happening. and see it for the big picture. Why this is happening in humanity right now, what this role was, what this player's doing, and how it brings more light into the planet. Even when it seems through my own mind construct something that I would have called negative, or that there's a bigger picture of it than anything that my little mind could understand. It's like through the heart you can see all of because we're dreaming in our new realities right now. And so if you've got all of that information coming in, then it's going to pick up pieces of that to put in the movie. And it's like, if you go back to 0 point, then you can dream from that place. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So after you do it 2 or 3 times, you just ask for it to be done, and you'll feel yourself unplug from all of it. And when you're trying to make a decision, and especially if it's, a lot of this stuff has been around family and things like that, just ask to disconnect from all of it, and then your answer can come to you. Because it's like all these are plugged in, so your answer, say it's in this bubble out here, and here's your new reality. It's this whole bubble that wants to come in. Like when you're blowing bubbles, and this wants to come in, and like, oh, it wants to come in and be here. And you can't even get to your own divine blueprint. You can't even get to your creations and what your accumulated knowledge is that's here for you, because all of these other things are there. So the bubble's going to pop before it ever gets to you. It's going to hit all these other constructs, and it's just going to bust. And then your dreams that you came to dream in, you keep staying in that exhaustion and the overwhelm and all of that energy. And I'm channeling this as I'm talking. It's like, oh, this is what it is that's happening. It's like it can't get to you because all these other things are in the way. It would have to like swoosh through and find a way to, get in. And which it will eventually, because the soul knows it's infinite, and either it'll do it this lifetime or it won't. It don't have a big attachment to that. There is no time in it, and it's so, but why keep putting your human through this experience? The human aspect is like the RV for the soul. So either you can do it the path of grace and ease, or you can take it through a wild toad ride. And it's like, which path would you rather have at this point in your life? Would you rather have the path of grace and ease, or do you want to stay on the roller coaster? That's up to you. It's your choice on how you want to do that. So releasing from all that helps with that. And what I saw was in the emotional traumas that we've had experienced, it's like those mind constructs are there, and then the emotional trauma is like this layer of goo that's in between, and so it's like bounces back and forth all the time between the two of them. So when we release from that mind construct, then that goo, like that goop, then it can, it'll dissolve. It's like it doesn't have to stay. It's like bubble gum being stuck on it. It's like it doesn't have to, it won't be stuck to it anymore. And so that when we have the mind things, it hits the emotional trauma, and then we're just battling this back and forth all the time. So that's what happens. That's what happens in the end. And when you disconnect from all of that, then you can be clear with your own, with everything. You have a clearer pathway to the vibrations and the higher frequencies to embody here in this plane of existence. Okay.
Awesome.
Could you feel it when I was just talking about it, even the energies of it?
Yeah, I could. And I was actually, bringing my energy back from all those different, mind constructs, soul constructs, and everything. And I really felt a difference in my being when you were doing that.
Yeah.
So it can be that simple. Can be.
It can be that simple. And it's like, now I do it so quick. I just say it, release from the mind constructs. And it's like, if I'm trying to, say some situation, I'll just like, if something comes up with my daughter, and then it's got all of her stuff plugged into it and what's happening in her world she's created, and then I'm trying to be in there in all of it, and then I just have to disconnect from all of it. And I've done that a lot through all of this stuff that humanity has been going through, but I do it daily anyway. But I mean, I really have. And I do it, if I've been on Facebook and I've been scrolling, I do it when I come off of there. I disconnect from all of it because I don't want that in my field. So it's like doing energetic cleaning for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want that energy to still be plugged into my mind and my mind. I've done it for about movies too. Have you ever watched a movie and the next day you wake up and you're still thinking about it, or how it ended and then what happened to them after it? Like
it was still going on. Yeah.
Right, it's still going on, and then you're in your head thinking about it, and well, why did they do this? And then I wonder what happened to her. And it's like, just disconnect from it.
Yeah.
Because when that happens, you're still thinking about the situation, then your energy, you got an energy bleed to it. It's like, just disconnect from it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we do that a lot, actually, whether it's movies, even books, Facebook, and family stories, we do that a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good.
Okay. So that's what it is that we're going to do with this when we go through this process. And usually when I'm doing it, I mean, really, when you all do it for yourself, all you have to do is disconnect from it. When I take us through the process, I'll be saying, I may see things like, because I call it the matrices, the distorted matrices that we're plugged into. So I may actually hear what the matrix is, what it is that we're still holding on to, like the one that we're in resistance, that we're wanting to hold on to because we think it's the way that it makes us safe. So I may hear that or where that's at, and I may describe it to you all. And you may be off somewhere else, and that may not be your story at the time. You don't have to listen to me and make sure you're doing exactly whatever it is that I say, because I'm just more like the commentator, and I'm just describing what it is that I'm witnessing. And in that vibration of that, it helps the consciousness release from it. It helps the rational mind and the irrational, the subconscious and consciousness come in to a agreement. Because, when you go, oh, that's what that was. And then you're just kind of like, oh, forget it. And then you just let it go.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that when we go
through.
Okay.
Good. So do you want to do that first, or do you want to talk about the special offer package?
I don't know. It didn't matter. Whatever. What do you feel?
All right. So let's do the process first, and then we'll talk about the package. It's the same as the one that we had back in April when you were here. So.
Yeah, we can talk about that real fast because and then we won't have to worry about going into, I don't know, maybe we can do both.
All right, so
don't ask me questions on a technical level. Yeah. So which one do you want me to do?
All right, so basically, we're going to go to the special offer. So for those of you who are on the live page, you can just click the special offer button. For those of you who are not, you can go to alara.at/show/Kimberly4. And so this package is package A and B. And so package A is 3 live group calls and access to the private membership. Package B is everything in package A, right? So the 3 live group calls plus access to the private membership plus 12 days of transmissions and a 30-minute one-on-one session with Kimberly.
Yes. And so when you're in that membership, because it's like access, 2 months. And so during that time period that you're in it, I do calls all the time. There'll be more than 3, but you'll for sure get 3. But like sometimes all of a sudden it's Saturday morning and I hear, let's do a call. And then on Tuesdays, I go in and do transmissions, and I do those all the time. And sometimes there's more calls than that. There'll probably be more calls in that 2 months time period. And we'll work on this all the time, because that's one of the things that I do all the time is disconnecting. And you can ask me questions. You can be in the hot seat, and you have access to the Facebook group. And then all of the videos that are in there. from other times that I've done stuff. There's access to all of that. And also, if you did another appointment with me, you get 25% off of any, like the members in membership get 25% off of any of my programs. So you get that benefit of that during that time period.
Yeah, absolutely. So package A is $97, and package B, which includes that 30-minute session with Kimberly, is $147. So please do take a look at them, see how that resonates with you, and receive the support from Kimberly.
Yeah, because I'll actually be doing some kind of call this weekend for the solstice. So if you got in that soon, you would actually get that one as a bonus too, because I'll be doing something if you're already in there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Good.
Okay.
All right, so let's do the process. So everyone just receive, be willing to receive, just allow.
Yeah. Okay.
Stay out of your head.
Yeah. Let's breathe. So use your breath to come into your own awareness. And so with each breath you take, see, they're telling me, let's breathe in. We're going to breathe in peace. So as you breathe in, the vibration of peace comes into your body, into your lungs, and we're going to breathe out clarity. I'm hearing breathe in support, the knowing and feeling and understanding of that into every cell, and then breathe out peace again. Out peace this time. So then we're going to breathe in clarity. Use your breath to bring in the vibration. And to breathe out resistance. Okay, so now we're going to ask to disconnect from this chaotic mind construct of humanity. All of this energy that we plugged into, the wouldas, the couldas, the shouldas, all of that energy out there, that's somewhere that we believe there's an answer externally, and that we run our own system through this external source for our answers. So we're going to ask for just this moment to disconnect from that energy. And that it's safe to do that. That all your knowing, all of your accumulated knowledge is within you. And so we're also, all of the emotional traumas of humanity, we're going to ask for that to be put in a container of light, and that it's not ours to recycle. And for this to go into this recycle bin, upcycle bin. And so you may feel that come back into your third eye. I'm feeling it in the heart this time too, in the eyes themselves. Also in the ear chakras, you have chakras right above your ears that are your ear chakras, where you hear spirit and connect to spirit. So I'm seeing the energies like clear off of that. You may actually have a popping going on in your ear from it. And if they're telling me, if you've been hearing high-pitched tones, that this will help with that. It's going to help connect to what the rhythm is that's trying to come in for you, what spirit's trying to bring to you. So breathe that in. Feel yourself drop into your own body, into your awareness, to settle in from all of that energy, your own energy field that was connected to all of that. And now we're going to ask to disconnect from our own mind construct that we created in this lifehood. from all of the traumas and dramas that we experienced, anything that's unresolved that the mind is holding on to, patterns that's keeping it in a gridlock. Just for this moment, disconnect from your own mind construct. It served you well. It got you to this moment in time. And any emotional debris that was connected to that goes into that upcycle container. Okay, so family mind. The family mind construct from this lifehood, this family unit, the family that you experienced and the energies around that. To release from that mind construct. All of those woulda, couldas, shouldas, influences that no longer serve you. I'm feeling that really at the root chakra. And then it also, different people, it's going from different chakras through the back of the chakras. It's safe. It's safe to release from that energy in this moment. It's safe to trust your own intuition, your own awakened intuition, your own mastery within. Okay, so now we're going to ask, and really we just kind of do it. When I say ask, it just happens. To disconnect from the DNA mind construct, generations and generations of lineage, habits, strongholds, that no longer serve your higher self, to release from that mind construct, and the emotional pain and traumas and experiences that came through the lineage, for that energy to go into this upcycle container. It's all just energy, and it's not your burden to carry. So I'm feeling this energy of gratitude and honoring, and it's like honoring all of the DNA lineage, and also receiving this gratitude and honoring of how much you are honored for all that you've done, for all that you've held, that to be the one that's walking forth in this time period we call now. What that's like to be honored. Every cell of your body. And the gratitude, I'm hearing the word Great Spirit has, and the role that you play. The true gift that you are and the energy of that. So the soul itself, the mind construct, any unresolved karma, any bondage, oaths, vows that no longer serve, to disconnect from that mind construct. And that any unresolved emotional traumas that the soul carried, whether it was done to or done that the soul itself did this to another. To let that go and the traumas with that and what it's like to have the freedom and the forgiveness. Every cell of your body, balance, what it's like to be balanced. So in the center of your heart, it's your sacred chambers. And so we're going to ask to enter into your own sacred chamber. And you may want to go into the back of the heart, like there's this doors that open. Sometimes it's wings, but it's a place of your own sacredness and what that's like to connect to that. And when you enter into these sacred grounds, this is where your own divine essence, the aspect of you that's pure spirit, that always has been, and that understands, and has an understanding that's bigger than this lifehood, that goes out to all the cosmos. It's your God consciousness that's within you, the truth of that energy. So breathe that in and what that's like to be supported in your own sacred chamber, and that it's safe to have this support. And so that energy moves down through your central column, all the way through into the heart of Gaia herself, into the heart of Earth. It drops down through your body, and feel that connection to her, into her heart. And that knowing and feeling and understanding what it's like to be supported by Earth herself, how much she loves you. This is the divine feminine energy, the love, support, sustainability, every cell of your body. The truth of nurturing, and that it's safe to be nurtured, safe to trust, and to honor yourself. The truth of that vibration being uploaded into every cell of your body, awareness. I'm seeing it as these pastel colors. So your earth plan, your earth path, this energy that Earth herself holds your records. She knew when you would come and what you came here to do, your divine plan. And that when you come into alignment through Earth, through soul, through your higher self, your higher God consciousness, that this energy is there for you. This whole map that you gave to her to hold for you, this sacred accumulated knowledge with all your infinite wisdom. Feel what that's like to connect to that and to receive this energy as Gaia herself hands you your own book of knowledge, and that it's safe to have this. It's safe to activate it and to download all your accumulated knowledge into your being, into this time we call now, and that your innate system will know exactly when to use this energy and how to use it. So we're going to connect to our own Trinity, and it's the aspect of soul, of spirit, and your own human aspect. And it's this triangle, this connection that's your Trinity. Feel that triangle in your system. It may be at your heart, it may be at your throat. Some of you may see it. We're going to ask for that to activate. And for this sacred book of knowledge to connect to this within this triangle, and that this energy be there for you to utilize at any time, and that with this doorway being opened, you can enter into this chamber of your own divine, sacred master self and connect to this energy. Feel what that feels like. You may see it as a symbol. It could be a color. And I'm seeing like it's receiving it. And you may place it somewhere within your body to activate it. So all of the emotional debris from the experiences of the heart, all of the times that the heart itself has been broken, that it's taken on the pain of humanity, there's a healing, a sacredness, an energy that's coming in for the heart to heal the heart itself. The burdens that are no longer yours to carry, release. You can hand these over. Know that it's safe to release this energy that's not yours to carry. So I'm seeing an activation at the high heart, just in between the heart and the throat. And there's expansion there. The high heart is pure, unconditional love. And when that activates within you, this energy, you embody this energy for yourself, and then you radiate this energy out into earth, into humanity. Okay, so they're telling me to anchor in the divine wealth, abundance codes. It's like there's some kind of sacred energy of that, and to bring in that vibration. And I'm seeing that like those dreams, I'm seeing it as a big bubble, a container that has all your source codes to your own divine abundance and the wealth of that, and to bring that energy in, and that it's safe to have that. and for that to activate within your system. So it may be going in different chakras on different people. Feels like it has new pathways, new connections, directions. Nesita kore shatakara nakari tara nasita kore shatakari nakari tora satakari tara nakari tara tora satakari tara. Okay, I'm hearing it's safe to activate your destiny codes and the truth of what that is and your destiny. It's like your own sovereign self, to bring yourself into alignment with your specific destiny codes. I'm feeling that going into the back of the heart. Okay, so any energy that could be inside your sacred chamber of others that you are attached to, that it is safe to let them go. They can stand and support you, but it's not their place to, I'm hearing deactivate your codes. So any agreements that you had with that, whether you're conscious or unconscious, for that to be balanced, I'm hearing null. It's like for it to just go away. It doesn't serve you any, it doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve them. Okay, so if they won't leave, we're just going to ask for them to be escorted out. It's like this is not their place, their role. Even if they think they're protecting you, it's not their place to do that any longer. So any energies that's false protection. Okay. So that there's an expansion that's happening now with your destiny codes and how that activates into your own divine blueprint, that blueprint that Gaia herself holds for you. Expansion out into your own passion, into your own currency codes, and an alignment of that. And I'm hearing how this new earth will be birthed. New humanity and a new awareness. Okay, so there's the cosmic rays are here to support us. So there is a pink ray that's the divine feminine energy and a sapphire ray that's the divine masculine. And so those are coming in, it looks like at the ear chakras, into the mind, into the left, right side of the brain, activating, bringing into balance and support, all the way down through your system, into the heart of Gaia, anchoring in the balance of that. Divine inspiration, divine action. And that connects to that flame, to the ray of Gaia herself. It's creating like it's hers is kind of a golden energy, but all of that together brings this a violet ray into your system, up through your body, and it activates all your encodements, your light body into this highest octave of energy. So it's repairing any burnout that was within the light body itself, and basically bringing in a new light body, all shiny and sparkly, that hasn't went through the traumas. Okay, so there's infinity symbol below your feet, and this is that activation to Gaia, that infinite wisdom, that infinite support, the knowing and feeling and understanding of what that's like to be supported by her, every cell of your body. So stand in that infinite wisdom of that infinite support. And then the energy comes up, and there's another infinity symbol at your knees. And that's how to walk forth in this energy, this infinite wisdom of this. And then there's an infinity symbol at your hips. It crisscrosses across that root chakra, uploading creator's definition, infinite survival, the truth of what that really is, their infinity. So how to be supported, how to walk forth, and then the survival, the truth of that energy, the safetyness of it, in every cell of your body. And then that moves up through all of your energy signatures, centers, all the way up. And when it comes across your sternum, your breastplate, that soul calibration point, we're going to recalibrate the soul to this highest octave of energy, and to that alignment of your earth path, your soul path. And that energy moves all the way up. Infinite wisdom, balance. I'm hearing the word integrity. And then it moves out the top of your crown, out past your transpersonal chakra, home of the higher self. And then there's another infinity symbol above that, activating like your solar codes, your God creation, understanding to the whole divine blueprint. So it's bringing that into alignment to one unified working unit. So when you're ready, just breathe in and bring yourself back into this time we call now, anchoring in this divine wisdom, your divine template, the truth of who you really are. Into every cell of your body. So as you all are coming back in, I'm going to send a vibration into a water container. If you have a water container, if you don't, we just set the intention for this vibration to go, and then you can use this energy to support yourself with. Makori shaten and nakori satakari shatere kirina nakori atarana satakari shatakari satakari and nakori shatakari satakari nakari atarana satakari atara. No shatakari sata. I'm seeing a lot of silver energy coming in now. Okay. So
Wow.
anytime, you know, you're trying, if you're feeling pulled all kinds of different directions by everybody, you know, your body's went through this. It knows what this is. It's like Spirit didn't give it to me without somewhere in all humanity we know how to disconnect. So you can just say it now. I noticed when I was giving the directions, I was saying ask. And you really don't have to ask. You don't have to ask permission. And when I was like, why am I? Because lots of times I'll just say disconnect now, disconnect now. And I asked, why am I saying ask? And they said that has to do with the influence of the energies that we're in right now. That's the vibration. And it's like you just say now and it's done. So when I disconnect, I just go disconnect from those mind matrices now, you know, especially when I'm being pulled in to the drama dance, you know.
Yeah, that was awesome. I don't know if you saw, but I was yawning like crazy, and at one point I was like so hot, I was like sweating. There's like, yeah, it was.
I saw you fan yourself. Most of the time my eyes are closed.
Yeah,
but I did see you fanning yourself, and
I had to. I was like sweating. I had to turn the heater off. I had to take my socks off. I had to undo my scarf, and it's like, oh my goodness, a lot of shifting, a lot of energy moving. Yeah, so that was cool. Thank you. Right, how's everybody doing? Yeah, Sylvia said that was a lot. Dang, that was a lot. Interesting about someone needing to be escorted out of the heart. I vaguely remember that, but not really.
I know I was surprised because we had went through, you know, we'd already done everything. And so when I came back through, I saw that in your own sacred, like when you go into your own sacred chamber where you connect to your own divine mastery self. And if there's anyone else in there, you know, like family, you're giving your power over to, that you, even bosses, whoever it is that's influencing you, that's your inner chamber.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that's not their place to be. And so if they're there, then they have taken up a place within your energy field that is draining you. Yeah. And so they can stand outside and support you, but that's your inner community room. And so none of your decisions, they don't have an opinion.
Yeah, they have no say. Yeah, they have no say. Got it.
So it surprised me because we had already done so much, and when I come up, and I don't know that everybody had it, but I was like, what is that energy in there? Why is there still clutter here? Because when we first started, the third eye, and it was more really the frontal lobe, like here, the filter, had so much debris in it. There was a lot of debris there, but instead of going into every single belief, because there's a lot of beliefs that's in there, I could have done beliefs for 4 days, you know, for 4 livelihoods, for 4 decades. We don't have time to do all of that anymore. And so when I asked, it's like, oh my God, there's so many beliefs in here. And then it was like connect them to their to your own book of knowledge. And it's like when you get that and you have it, then all those beliefs can just dissolve. And that's what I'm seeing. I mean, you know, I do belief work, and it's like, yeah, sometimes there's still beliefs in there, but I just feel like we're in a place now that we don't have time to keep knocking beliefs out. It's like, we've got to get these whole containers out of there.
Beautiful.
And it did feel like as some of those escorted out, what did I hear? I remember because I almost got tickled. I heard something. Oh, I heard somebody, it felt like a grandmother. And it was like, well, that child doesn't even know how to get out of the rain. That's what it was that I heard. Grandmother needed to stay and watch over everybody because that child didn't even know how. And I felt like she wasn't still embodied. So some of those ancestral energies that can still be taking up space within you are, you know, they're not in a body anymore. So they don't need to be embodying your body.
That's true. Absolutely.
On, honey. I was kind of like, you can go on, Granny. You can go on and get out of here. Because I did hear that. I heard the woman say, well, that child doesn't even know how to get out of the rain.
That's funny.
So,
I don't
if
think it was
any-
my grandmother, so I'm good.
So if any of y'all ever had that or heard that term, and it's like that spells, I thought, okay, I don't know where that came from because I
Oh, that was
thought,
cool. So Donna Marie says that's so beautiful. Thank you. Powerful. Yay, Donna Marie. Good to see you. Odile says lots of yawns. Dave Ronnie said that was so beautiful. Lots of release. Feels so good. Thank you. Good. Donna Marie said this was literally aligned for me. Haha. Awesome. Donna Marie, do you want to
great.
unmute yourself and share? So Donna Marie was on our show a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yes. Yeah, on the 4th.
Yeah. On your birthday. No, your birthday was March.
No, well, March 4th, but when we did another one on June 4th. So
Yeah.
like what, a week ago, I guess?
It already feels like a long time.
Yes. I had just gotten off of a Skype call from work, and I was just looking on my emails, and then I saw it. And I look at the picture and they're like, yeah, go.
You know, I listened to, you were on, one other time when I was on, you were on like the same week I was or something. And
Maybe.
I listened to your show. And it's like, I mean, obviously, Rowdy,
That's
do I
so
listen to somebody
funny.
else's show? And there was something, I was going through the things and I thought, I think it was on the same week because like our pictures put together or something. And I thought, who's that? I don't know her. And
Oh, there you go. Here she is.
Yeah, I listened to the replay. So I did.
Okay.
Because I was like, who is that? And it was like, yeah, I listened to the replay.
Yeah. So
Um,
that
And it's all pretty good. So we're supposed to play or something. Maybe we're supposed to connect.
Maybe we're supposed to play. I don't know, but it was so funny because I was just getting off a call and I was just going to check out. It's beautiful here. I was going to go out on the lake and just float and disconnect. And I just had a big tumultuous event happen with my daughter that has been building up over the last 3 months. And we reached a tower point yet last night. And literally this morning, I was like, okay, you know, the message, I went to bed and they're like, this is the last time we're going to give you this experience. Let go. You need to learn to let go. Stop living for anyone other than yourself. And we have a very close connection, and it was always hard to let go. And I just thought, I'm done. I have to release her. What's meant to be will be. What will happen will happen. But then I woke up with a lot of sadness, and then I got into my alignment to, facilitate the work for the clients that I was doing today. And I was able to do that. I was able to just push myself, move myself away, remove myself, and then go into what I needed to do to get done. And as I was just closing my day, this little wave of sadness came into me, and I'm like, I'm just going to clear it and transmute it. And then I open up and I see you, and they're like, no, you want to watch this. So I'm like, all right, I always listen because they're always guiding, the guidance.
Right. Exactly.
And
yeah.
it really benefited me to give myself permission to release in love. So very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very powerful.
I did, I remember now, I don't remember where we were at, and it could have been when we were, when we were in like that Gaia and the energy. I remember feeling water and like just wanting to lay in it. And I thought, oh, this is like just being on a float. And just, so maybe it was your lake that came in, because I remember that part somewhere through there.
I'm a mermaid, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm so
We
glad.
got a mermaid connection.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Very, very, very powerful. Like I literally picked up right away, and I was like, loved it. So thank you.
Good.
Yesterday they were in vision floating too. So yeah, the water, I definitely felt the water come in. It was kind of like it was a really pretty aqua color water.
Yes, yeah.
And I felt that energy come in.
Seafoam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the best thing you can do is just lay back in the water like that.
Let go and just float. Yeah. Receive and just trust. Floating is all about trusting, right?
Yeah.
It is when you think about it. It's like that's I remember I used It's like I don't guess you can buy a float for $1 anymore, but it's like that's the best dollar you can spend in your life is just buying a blow up plastic float.
I have a whole bunch of them because we have friends over that come all the time. But it's funny, and I'm going to say this because I think it's really important for the listeners to understand that no matter what, you can facilitate in your own practice. And I can do, I can detach and do so much for others, but we all need other facilitators to be able to reach into us and support us and guide us. Like it's to kind of remind everybody we all need that interconnected support. It's not because you might be able to do this or do that like, oh, you don't need that, and I think it's nice when people on the call see other light workers that are doing this as a practice being facilitated through other light workers. I think it's important that everyone sees that, we all need each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not here to do this alone anymore. And I've been getting that really, really strong, that it's like to stand
and not to compete either.
Yeah, no, it's not about that.
There. No. And I love that.
Yeah, because we came in to anchor in this new earth now. Oh, they were using the word new at the end. They were saying new earth, new humanity. Mm-hmm. And I it's like, it's all, there's nothing new, but it is new. It's a new wave
for us,
that we're anchoring. And I can really feel that really strong. And it's like, okay, we said we would come here at this time to be the containers of this,
There you go.
Yeah. And so it's just about filling that up and that vibration. I mean, to me, the whole experience is we're collecting all the vibrations so we can be the full tapestry. And so I may have the vibration today, and maybe Laura has it, it's like Donna Marie may have it, Terry may have it, whoever, in this whole collective consciousness, even when we come together on this calls, that even the container of that, each person on here is bringing something into the call.
And it amplifies it. It amplifies it too,
it amplifies it the more that we come together.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I do the summits is because of that. Because I know that every time we come together, there's it's a service that we're doing. Oh, that was the big thing that I got this week too in Chandler was somebody had asked me a question on my membership, I think. And the big piece that I was seeing is that this road, if you want to call it that, however you want to describe it, that we're on, and this two world thing is that energy of humanity making the choices that keeps coming back up. Why are we still going through these things and all of the energy? We're at the path of service to all, or the service to self, and that we're in that place of that making those decisions. And it's like where we go into the we energy. It's like the I am, but it's the we, and it's that whole like this awareness of that every vibration, everything we do, it's service to the whole.
Yeah, and everything always is service to the whole. If we stay out of our head, out of our ego, right? If we are coming from our heart space, everything is service to the whole, right?
Right.
Yeah. But it's just nice to see. I think it's nice to see when we have other light workers working with other light workers and sharing their experiences, because we're still human beings. We're still making our own growth. We're still moving through whatever we're here to live and experience. And we can't do it all. I'd like to be able to do it all. I try to do as much as I can. But then it's wonderful to lean into other people and allow for them to facilitate, guide, clear, or release you. Because then not only is their empowerment going to support you through what they can connect with, but then it brings you to another place, and then you can take that. It's like a tag, okay, now you're it, now you're it, and you get to share it and pass it on, and it's up leveling,
It is up leveling, and that's how I see it too. It's like when we stand on each other's shoulders, it's like going to the, to the highest apex of the mountain. It's like you get up there and you go, oh, come here, you have to see this.
Yes.
And then, then you stand on their shoulders, and then you go, oh, you have to see this. And then we all keep doing that,
Yeah.
So
that's beautiful. I love it.
The spiral. It's the divine spiral too.
Yeah.
I'm sweating again.
Hey, this is like totally off the subject, but I was, how when you're on like Facebook and somebody finishes something and then it will just randomly roll into the next thing. You know what I'm talking about? Have you ever been on there and they're on a video?
Oh, yeah. The next thing shows up. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So yesterday I had this experience. I didn't know the song, and it's what is the name of the song? It's Put a Woman in Charge. You all heard that?
Yes.
I loved it. It was so good. I got up and started dancing. And the whole thing was like that. And it's not about, you know, I don't mean men or women. It's about the divine feminine energy. And that energy is here for vibration. I listened to that song I listened to it right before we started again. It's
Smart.
I'm on it. It's like
We'll have to listen
again.
to it. Yeah, I'll have to find it on YouTube and listen to it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in a message. The guy that his name is it's like Kebmo, 2 words. Kimbo.
Oh, maybe it's not the song I'm thinking then.
I'll send it to you.
Kebmo.
So Kimberly will send it to me. Donna Marie will send it to me, and then I will send it to
You can put it out there.
Oh, good. You'll love it. It's like so good. It's like really good.
Awesome.
That's great.
Good. Beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it when other healers, light workers come on the show, you know, that I work with. You know, it's like I just love it when they come on because it's like a sharing and it's like it's a caring and it's like an expansion of the conversation. It's so beautiful.
And I think also, you know, when you look back, you know, maybe 5-10 years ago, it was always everybody trying to showcase themselves. And it's like, it's not about that. It's like, okay, here's what I'm able to, this is what I do and this is how I do it. It's learning from each other, gathering, raising each other up. We move vibrationally when we're with someone else on a higher vibration. And so it's as a collective, we do so much more in support of each other than moving against each other.
We need to do a roundtable thing someday, Laura. Why don't we do that?
Yeah, we should do that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Let's do that. We'll do that.
Not
next week, but the week after we'll do that.
Yeah, because I've been really getting that really strong, especially in the last 2 weeks, really, really strong. They keep taking me in, and that whole, like that there's a team, you know, and it's like not doing this lone wolf anymore, and it's like a supportive team. And, you know, you and I talked about that one time before, Laura, a long time ago. Yeah. And we talked about, you know, that kind of, and I don't, you know, there's
maybe now is the time to do something.
I can really feel that coming in.
Yeah,
I do.
Somebody else had said that to me a few years ago too, to do that. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, everybody. I know we're gone totally off topic, totally off track. This recording is like 2 hours long.
Still here with us, so then people must be interested in it.
I love it.
Exactly. So. I just want to say in closing, again, this is wonderful. You know, go back and listen to that process again. Yvette, I hope you're still here and I hope you were able to, you know, get the process, and same, you know, with the Ronnie and anybody else who asked a question. You know, it was great. I received so much from it. So allow yourself to receive, drink your water, you know, lots of water. Take a look at the packages from Kimberly. They're available at alara.at/show/Kimberly4. Okay, so this is from back when she was here in April, but same package. It's all good. All right, everyone. So thank you, Kimberly. What were you gonna say?
I got something else. I did a peace garden out in my. That's all I've been able to do is plant flowers. So I made a peace garden. I put Kuan Yin out there, and I've got a peace garden. And
nice.
Those little rocks.
Peace garden with Kuan Yin.
Yeah. So I'm taking little rocks and I'm making a grid out there. So if anybody wants to be in my peace garden, you can just private message me and I'll put your initials on here and put you in the peace garden.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm in.
Exactly. I'm in. Definitely. No question.
Rock me, and I'll do it.
I collect rocks. I do. So I'm in.
Too. So
I love it.
I've got this whole milk carton full of fluoride that, you know, that somebody dug out of the mine. So I'm going to put that in a spiral around it.
Oh, beautiful.
I love
and
it.
make sure you know, send me a picture.
Send pictures.
But yeah, we're in.
I was thinking that I need to do the pictures and put them on your thing.
Yeah.
I've got a bowling ball that I bought for 50 cents and I'm going to turn it into earth.
Good. You're so creative. I love it. Anything else, Kimberly? Because I know she's like, she's got so much.
Great. That's so great.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. I love having you. You know, we always have such a wonderful time, wonderful conversation. It's always so much fun. So, oh yeah, there you go. Mina would love to be in the peace garden as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Good.
I'll put your all's initials on it.
Thank you.
Okay.
So mine is AC or SB. You can put both if you want. I don't care. It all works. Sylvia wants to be in it too.
Everyone's gonna leave us say all the initials.
I'm having so much fun with it. It's like that's all I can do. I keep going to Lowe's and buying the dead plants, all this, rescuing them.
Good. Awesome.
That's hilarious.
Awesome. I love it. All right, everyone. So thank you. My family's calling me upstairs. So thank you, everyone. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Love you all. Much love and blessings. Bye for now.